Alright guys, hey, I'm back. I'm doing a new recording here for the Divine Masculine and the Karmic Partner current relationship status for the weekend. This will be for the days between the 19th all the way through the 21st at midnight there, wherever you're at. And honestly, it's just an energy reading, so it could even fall days after or maybe even have already played out days before. It just kind of depends on where you're at in your journey, but I felt like I would give you some information here, and get this taken care of. Hopefully my audio issues are fixed. It's super frustrating. Thank you for the 10 subscribers that I have already. It means the world to me, guys. This makes me want to keep going when I have people subscribe, people like, people comment. So if you like what you're seeing, it goes a long way. It's just even that little like, honestly, it fuels me to keep going. So it's much appreciated when it occurs. All right, well, without that, I'm just going to go ahead and get started here. Let's see what comes out. That was quick. I think that's going to be our message. I did pre-shuffle. I did pre-pray. I am good about that. I'm just trying to keep my time cut down because these uploads are so long. So long. Interesting. So this talks about an emotional new beginning. It talks about the completion of the home life fulfillment here. It talks about balancing out emotions, wish fulfillment, and also we have a representation of the divine feminine being present here. So we're going to see what unfolds and kind of comes up from this, okay? Um, I think I want that card here. So the emotional new beginning, the Ace of Cups, is immediately followed into a Eight of Swords energy, which is feeling very stuck. This is that head block, but it comes with some clarity that follows it right after that. It goes into the intuition. I'm gonna assume one way, shape, form, or another. It goes into the intuition of either the divine masculine or the karmic partner. Um, Somebody is starting to see something in a new light here, in regards to this situation, some sort of spiritual enlightenment. It probably makes sense for it to be the divine masculine as they are a divine partner here in the relationship. So, some sort of intuition, which is going to lead to a emotional, or not emotional, I'm sorry, but like a passionate message coming forward here. So if you guys have had a relationship change with your divine masculine, like maybe they have entered into a relationship, or things might have gotten a little bit more serious, something like that. There's been some sort of a mental block that's come with that, and they're getting new insight because of it. So the Ten of Pentacles is going to talk about their home life here. We're going to get a peek at that and see what's going on. That because the Ten of Pentacles is a representation of like the ideal fulfilled home life. So in this case, it's just going to be a representation of home life. Okay, so the home life is immediately met with the counterpart here, the karmic partner for the divine masculine. And this is telling me that there is trouble actually brewing here, between the divine masculine and the karmic partner. This is like a tumultuous energy. It's very, I don't know how to explain it other than, it's kind of confrontational. It's kind of, maybe petty, like something that they have had in the past. I'm getting this message coming through, and I'm not sure how I can word it because it's kind of like a feeling. But basically, like it, I'm getting this notion that the divine, or I'm sorry, that the karmic partner is very much being kind of petty about everything. Like, oh, well, you said you weren't going to do this anymore, and you're still doing this, or blah, blah, blah. Or, like, kind of, like, bringing up stuff from the past and being, like, nagging and egging about it, and maybe, like, insecure about it. This ultimately leads into the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune is the talking of karmic cycles coming to an end. So some sort of ending here is going to occur. That doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship will end, but it does mean that whatever cycle they're in, so karmically, is going to come to an ending. So the best way I can like explain that is if the lesson or like a couple of lessons that the karmic and them had to work out, one of them is coming to a completion. One of them is coming to a close. So whether that's about betrayal or trust or something like that, some sort of lesson that had to be learned is coming to a completion. And with that brings in the Tower energy. So with the Tower energy coming through on a Wheel of Fortune, with the Page of Swords being represented here, to me, that could very much be a breakup. That could be the end of it altogether. You know, if whatever the lesson was that needed to be learned, maybe this is a lesson for the karmic about learning to let go of somebody that is not in their best interest, because obviously if the divine masculine is meant to be with you, then it's not going to be in the best interest of the karmic to hold on to it. You know what I mean? Because there's just not going to be that connection. Even if they are a soulmate, the soulmate situation would still be pulling away from the overall will of the universe, because when twin flames come together, it's for a purpose, and they have missions here to complete. So even if your divine masculine were to be with a soulmate and you're worried about that kind of instance, the fact that you're both incarnated at the same time means that there is a real desire from the universe to really push them towards you, because of this soul path that you're supposed to go down with this person. 100 other lifetimes, they probably would have worked out if they were soulmates and could have gone the distance of time. But because this lifetime they have a twin flame, all other soulmates kind of take a back seat, if that makes any sense. So the Eight of Cups is all about, in this deck, is all about balancing out one's emotions. It's about, it's like the completion cycle from the regular Eight of Cups and the regular Tarot, which is about somebody leaving an emotionally unfulfilling situation. This is like the what happens after that, where they're balancing in their emotions from leaving that emotionally unfulfilling situation, or trying to bring in the emotional balance because of an unfulfilling emotional situation. Let's see what comes up here. Well, all right. There's 4 cards right there. So, what we have here is the King of Cups. This is the divine masculine, obviously, finally stepping into that emotional connection, that emotional role that they're looking for here. And in so, no surprise, we have the Eight of Cups coming through, like I was just talking about. They're leaving an emotionally unfulfilling situation. And why are they leaving an unfulfilling emotional situation? Well, we have the Four of Wands and we have the Two of Cups. These couldn't be any more synchronistic with the twin flame journey. These two go hand in hand, in my opinion, with the twin flame journey. One is all about the lovers coming together and uniting in union. This is an 11-11 card, Four of Wands, harmonious celebration, union. So to me, this says they're leaving that emotionally unfulfilling situation because they know they have a twin flame out there. Guys, they know they have a twin flame out there, and they want this as bad as you do. That's something important to kind of keep in perspective, is that they do want this probably just as bad as you do, even though they might not always see it, or they might not always act on it, you know, so depending on whatever soul contracts you guys had before coming into this incarnation, to do this, you know, they have different goals that they're trying to meet. I know mine is very much in a game state where she is trying to basically figure out how to conquer her emotions to the best of her ability, but in the sense that she's actually trying to seek it out through a financial means. Like, she doesn't realize that she's trying to conquer her emotions. She realizes that she's trying to be basically become the best financially that she can. But ultimately, she has a breakthrough in her soul contract to come to the realization that emotions are really what it's all about, or the pursuit of love. All right, let's go into this Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment here. Or the wish in general, however you want to look at it. All right, well, I guess that's not too terribly surprising. Guys, if you're resonating with me, if you're on the same wavelength, if this is making sense to you, if you guys have been feeling this kind of energy, if you guys have been actively out manifesting and making sure that your vibrations are in high spirits, this is kind of this to me, this entire reading screams, I'm leaving my karmic partner soon. I'm getting illumination. I want to be with my Queen of Wands, which is going to be obviously the Queen of Fire or Twin Flame, however you want to look at that. Because it's time. It's just like time and completion of the circle. So basically what happens here is that they get the illumination. They get that ascension progress that we all probably went through in the last, I don't know, 3 months. It was pretty intense. It'd be hard for you to miss. So with all that kind of like all of a sudden crazy, insightful life stuff that happened, and all of a sudden you started looking at life through very different lenses pretty rapidly, if you go back, that's kind of where they're at right now. They're having that kind of light shined on everything. And they're like, oh, well, this makes sense now. And they're seeing you in this light, is what it's saying. It's saying, oh, I get it. I'm supposed to be with this person. This is the path for me. This is what's been divinely guided. This is the direction I'm intentionally being pushed because of it has, you know, major goals that I need to complete in my life. And in that, we have the world coming here. This is the completion of a cycle. The completion of the cycle is probably this realization, this breakthrough, the ending of that sun energy, that mental clarity that finally breaks in, and it looks like it, you know, that illumination, that ascension process is probably coming to its relative close here. I mean, obviously, you're going to just keep ascending and ascending, but for them, whatever ascension cycle they're in is probably coming to the end there. They're probably finally getting that enlightenment that they've been like so desperately in search of. So, moving right to the Queen of Wands here. This is obviously you, Divine Feminines. If you're Divine Masculine watching this video, please, please, please comment on it. Let me know what you're thinking of the reading here. I'd love to know. So, it comes in here, and this is no surprise. They have a message that needs to be delivered. They know it, you know it, everybody on the face of the planet probably knows it at this point, right? Or at least it feels that way. So they have this passionate message that they wanted to relay to you because they know what's been going on isn't really in their best interest or highest self anymore. They've had the awakening, and because they've had this awakening here, they need to talk to you, and it's going to be in relation to the third party situation. It's going to be in relation to them sneaking around and maybe being deceptive, not completely honest with you all the time. They know they need to own this. They get it. They know that even in the past they might have tried to kick it under the rug and keep sweeping it under the rug, and finally they're in that place where they go like, okay, if I want to move forward, I have to have this conversation. Guys, I mean, this is their desire, this is their mindset. So I would expect conversations probably relatively soon as we get probably closer into the full moon. I would very much be thinking, as long as you don't mess with the timelines at all, you know, don't go out of your way to cause things to happen. Let it naturally unfold. Let them come to you in their own time, their own way. Okay. Um, that's gonna be what brings us in. Let the universe work. Okay, let the universe is got this figured out. You got a lot of fake cards here. You got a lot of good stuff. So don't go in and be like, well, you know, maybe if I say this, I can just, you know, get his mind to this enlightened state. No, don't. That's gonna mess with it. That's gonna change your timeline. It's gonna change their timeline, and they might go back into that, you know, Four of Pentacles energy where they're holding on tight to what they have because they're like, oh, this person's in my head, and that's scary. That's scary to them, you know. This is big enlightening stuff that all of a sudden you have somebody else out there and the universe is revealing itself to you, and it can be a bit overwhelming for people to take in, especially when they haven't necessarily been that spiritually enlightened before. So just keep that in mind. You know, let this naturally play out. Be understanding. And as they kind of work with you, you know, start to be like, yeah, I get it. You know, we're on a fifth dimensional state. And, you know, because of that, you know, I can forgive this. I can forgive this. You know, and set your ground lines and boundaries for whatever makes sense to you. I'm not saying, you know, give away the farm. I'm just saying that, you know, you do need to be in realization that if your divine masculine has had a karmic partner, that it is part of the soul contract, okay? And that means it's something that had to be fulfilled and played out, so you can't hold it completely against them. It's something you guys agreed upon before ever making it here. Just something to keep in mind, okay? Spirit, if I can just get an overall outcome here. I'm not sure that we even need one. It looks pretty straightforward to me, but we'll take it if you want to give it to us. And this is going to be for the divine feminines, okay? Ending energy. The new beginning. The Fool. Cool. These are the cards that fell. The Eight of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords. This says, ending message to you. Keep working hard and keep pushing hard. The harder you work, the faster this happens. You need to make sure that you're getting on that soul mission, that soul path that you're supposed to be on. Push forward with haste. Don't let anything slow you down. Even if you're feeling tired or just totally hopeless, pull yourself out of it. Say, hey, 2 more weeks of just nose to the grindstone. See how much can change in your life, okay? Does really, guys, that new beginning. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to close out the video here. I hope there is no audio issues. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, whatever. If you guys are interested in me doing private readings for you, feel free to leave me comments. If I get enough of them, I will look into doing it. Alright, thank you.